Imagine being at a dinner party right now, surrounded by people you want to impress, and I ask you directly in front of everyone, where'd you go to school? And you reply back and say, yeah, well, I just graduated from Stanford University. I got my MBA. You would feel pretty cool. I would feel cool if I were in your situation. That is the reason why we are talking about, is an MBA worth it in 2021, particularly for a career working in technology, working in software sales. I don't currently have an MBA. I've thought a lot about getting an MBA. I've spoken with people with MBAs. I'm not entirely sold on it, but I'm still drawn to it in a way. You always see those headlines, oh, people with MBAs make way more money. Today's video, we're going to talk about pros and cons of an MBA and is it worth it for a career in software sales. Make sure to leave a like now on this video if you went to high school. It helps the channel. Thank you so much for the support. First and foremost, my experience working with people who have MBAs, they're just like you and I. So if you think by getting an MBA, you're naturally going to be elevated above other people, that's not the case. For example, working in software sales, I'm an account executive. I always research my prospects on LinkedIn before I meet with them for the initial meeting. You see those people on LinkedIn with the MBA, with the whatever, blah, 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 university. It would feel pretty cool. And this particular prospect of mine had just graduated a couple years before from Harvard MBA, one of the top schools in the world. And naturally I was a little intimidated going into it. I said, this guy's gonna be super smart. He's gonna really know his stuff, fast growing company. I get on the call. He's a little awkward, not as impressive as you would think. Magically, by getting an MBA that, I'm gonna be so confident, I'm gonna be above other people in the business world. That's not the case. So I'd ask yourself, if you want an MBA, ask yourself why. And the reason why I would get an MBA is so that I can become more valuable in the marketplace. And when I look at the value of an MBA, personally, I feel that the value of an MBA is eroding and is decreasing over time. Historically, the top business people, and in order to get the very best jobs, you needed to go to the traditional school, you needed to have the best grades, you needed to have the best degree, the Harvards, the Stanfords, the Yales, the Ivy Leagues, blah, blah, blah. And we really glorified those people. In today's day and age, with the internet, it does not matter. The people who are most glorified in the business world are the tech founders that didn't even graduate from college. The two main reasons why I would get an MBA are, number one, increased status perception, and number two, the connections. You can't really quantify the impact of either of these. And what I mean by status perception is when you think about someone, their brand, if you see Stanford MBA, you're naturally going to think higher of them. You're going to think they're smart. You're going to think they're put together. You're going to think they know things that you don't. Just like when I met with the guy from Harvard, I naturally went into it saying, oh, this guy must really know his stuff. And number two is connections. I think that this is the biggest asset of an MBA, is you naturally are being admitted to a university with high selection standards. So you're going to be surrounded by other high performing individuals with lofty goals. And think about your experience at undergrad. If you went to college, hopefully you made some connections there. Hopefully you made some lifelong friends that you could call on. And they're first and foremost your friend, but also they could help you in the business world and further your goals at some point. And that's just elevated as an MBA. If you go to Harvard, for example, you're going to be classmates with a lot of other people that will probably go on to be executives at big companies that one day you could call on, and maybe that could help you close a deal. Maybe that could help you bring more value to your life in some way, shape, or form. The two key downsides to an MBA, number one, the opportunity cost. And number two, the actual cost. What I mean by opportunity cost is I'm in my software sales career and my company promotes based on meritocracy, so performance. So you're paid to perform and you move up in the company. If I go get my MBA, I'm suddenly out of the workforce for 2 years, so I'm technically not moving up my company unless, as a result of getting the MBA, they elevate me to a higher leadership position, which still happens in some industries, which is why the MBA is so important. But ultimately, the opportunity cost is you're losing out on money. I'm losing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars of income. And the other opportunity cost is skills. You would think by getting an MBA, the actual hard knowledge you're learning is going to translate to the workplace. Personally, I don't think anything you would learn would really translate from a technical knowledge standpoint. And this is based off of my own research, because you can learn everything you would learn in an MBA program for free online today. And then two, I suppose you would learn judgment or decision making, which would translate, but you're going to learn a lot of case studies, you're going to learn a lot of math that doesn't actually matter. So the opportunity cost to me is a big deal. And number two is the actual cost. if you research the cost of going to a top 10 university, we're talking $100,000 to $200,000, room and board, tuition, and it's only increasing. So it's really a trade-off to me, because on one hand, there's all these data points. You see these LinkedIn articles, oh, MBAs are in more demand forever and their salaries are going up. The data is clear. Based on certain demographic points and based on certain educational attainment points, for example, white males with a master's degree have a higher percentage of becoming a millionaire than other demographics. So naturally, if you want to be a part of the curve, then it would be in your best interest to get an MBA. But at the same time, I don't know if it's quite worth it. And I think a story that really embodies this is there's someone that was just hired at my company that has 10 years of experience and that just got their MBA from a fairly reputable university. And he was hired on as the same position as me. Okay, think about that. Meanwhile, I went to a very average university. I started out at the absolute bottom as a sales development representative, but through hard work, I built my own experience and promoted from within to an account executive level 5 with 3.5 years of work experience. The same exact level, the same exact earning is someone with 10 years of experience and an MBA. So to me, that does not justify the value. That does not justify the cost of getting an MBA. For a career in software sales, not worth it in my opinion. If you want to go from individual contributor in software sales to leadership and you have aspirations of becoming a C-suite person, then I think you could potentially justify it, because in the long run, it's probably going to pay off. But ultimately, if you're going to do sales, it's not needed whatsoever. I've seen a lot of people with MBAs. They don't tend to perform any better than the people without the MBAs. All that matters is what goals do you set? How big do you think in your work ethic? That's really all that matters. And the MBA does not help you with your work ethic based on my research. And yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Not trying to throw any shade, not trying to throw any shots. I may even still get my MBA at some point. I think it draws you in. When I see those articles, when I see those top 10 rankings, I'd say, wow, I'd love to be a part of that. I think it'd be cool to take a little vacation, to go to a cool campus, to meet other like-minded people. And maybe one day I'll do it. But right now, based on my research, you can learn everything for free online. Why would you need it? Why would you not spend that time and money to start a business rather than learning about how to do a business for 2 years? Maybe I'm missing something. Let me know in the comments down below your perception. Thanks so much for watching this video. I appreciate your support. Let's finish the year strong. We're going for 10,000 subscribers. I initially said 5,000 because that was realistic, but I need to stop being realistic. We're going for 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So please support the channel, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Connect with me on LinkedIn if you'd like to see my pace and history and my non-MBA profile.